y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Summer Kayy on here, Pinterest, and on TikTok, and then it's Summer Kayy Fit if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter. So if you are coming from one of those platforms, welcome, and thank you guys for watching and tuning in. If you're somebody new, I hope that you like it. Please stay for a minute and see if this is a channel for you. And if you do like the channel, don't forget to like the video and then subscribe as well. And you can turn on post notifications so that you don't miss a thing. Now we are going to go ahead and get straight into this video because we are going to be doing a challenge, and it's going to be something different, but it is still going to go in line with what is usually on my channel. But instead of it being a workout challenge per se, we are going to do something that is called a sugar detox challenge. So you may have heard of this. People do it all the time actually. And if you've seen like a post where it has like no sugar, no bread, no burgers, no fast food types thing, that's generally a sugar detox challenge, and that's just a picture that's been floating around the internet for years. But we are going to go in depth on what the sugar detox challenge is, and then if it's something that you're interested in, you can definitely join me. So let me go ahead and say, if you have already talked to me or if you already know that you're interested in doing the sugar detox challenge, you can go to www.summerkayfitness.com and go ahead and join the challenge. Now, it is going to be $5 to join the challenge, but remember, this is something that you can probably find on the internet and do yourself for free. But the goal of joining the challenge is that you get your questions answered, that you have that extra guidance, that extra accountability, and you have somebody that can be there to support you for the next 14 days, okay? So that is why you are going to be joining my challenge if you're interested. But like I said, you can go on Google and type in a sugar detox challenge and get a good overview of what it is. But hopefully you're here to support me, and you're here because you either like the way I explain things, or you know that I'm going to hold you accountable and you want to join. So if you're not sure about that, you can also take the quiz that I'm going to put in the description box and see if this is something that's good for you. Okay, I'll get back to you on whichever email you provide. So make sure that you provide a good contact email so that we can discuss it further. Okay, so while you're there, go ahead and subscribe to the mailing list if you haven't, because I'm probably going to send out the email reminder anyway so that you guys can remember to join the challenge if you've seen this video and you just haven't decided to yet, or if that is your first time seeing it. Make sure that you look at that, and I'll link this video so that people will have something to reference it to. But the goal is to do a sugar detox challenge for 14 days. Now we are going to get into our first disclaimer, which is detox is a buzzword. So when I say a sugar detox challenge, it's really just a challenge that is going to help you with reducing the added sugar and sugar intake overall, so that you can get into a healthier version of yourself. You can combat sugar cravings, and hopefully whenever you do start adding sugar back in, you are more mindful of it, and you might not even want the extra sugar that you're used to intaking. So before people come for me, because people seem to say it all the time, your body naturally detoxes, okay? You don't have to do anything extra for your body to detox, because it naturally does it, okay? You want to eat as well as possible so that your body can function at its peak performance. But I do supplements. I'm very big on supplements, and I try to educate you guys on supplements as well. I've done herbal cleanses that come in pill form as a way to cleanse my body, which is also known as detoxing my body. So I just want to say, detox is a buzzword, but it catches your attention. It makes you want to listen, because you want to know, okay, how do I detox the sugar from my body, and can I do it for 14 days? So with that being said, I'm going to give an overview of what will come with doing the challenge. So hopefully you guys are interested in it and you are ready to be held accountable, and see if you guys can do this for 14 days. Now, you can go on your own, you can Google it, you can look it up, you can probably go to Pinterest and find something like that. But I'm going to tell you what is going to be included in my 14-day detox challenge. So number one, and most important, you will get a digital ebook that should come in a PDF file that is going to give you a rundown of sugar, okay, how it reacts in the body and everything. And I'm going to go over in this video the overview of what we will be discussing. But you will also be getting information from me while you're doing the 14 days, so that you can hopefully be knowledgeable after you come out of it, and you'll be more mindful of what you're eating whenever you start adding sugar back in. So that is the difference between finding it on Google and doing it yourself, and having somebody that can answer those questions like I said. So once again, go to www.summerkayfitness.com or click the link in my bio, and you can see if you want to do the detox challenge with. So we're just going to get straight into what is going to be in the ebook. So we are going to first of all discuss a game plan. Now I will go ahead and talk to you guys about it on here a little bit, just so you can be aware of what you're going to be doing if you're doing a 14-day detox challenge. And I put this here so I don't get off track. But First of all, you want to find things that are high in fiber. You want to try to find things that are less than 3 grams of sugar, okay? That's what I'm going to tell people who do my challenge. Look for added sugars, number one. So a lot of people will see things that are sugar-free and things like that, but they don't pay attention to the fact that it's sugar-free, but there's added sugar somewhere, okay? And that is something that comes with label reading, which we will also discuss, and I will probably make a separate video about that, because in this day and age, label reading is probably the best thing that you can do whenever it comes to your health, because they will hide things in those labels and you don't really pay attention to it because you're looking at the front of the package and you're turning it around and you're looking at your macros and you're not looking at anything else. So you have to pay attention to what's on those labels and you have to pay attention to what's in those other ingredients, okay? So the goal is not to completely take yourself off of sugar, because that is virtually impossible. So I just want to put that out there. You cannot, you can't, okay? You can't just completely cut out sugar unless you are just not going to be eating like any types of fruits. A lot of foods have natural sugars in them. Banana is my favorite thing to just grab and eat, especially after a workout. Banana has a lot of sugar in it, okay? Natural sugar. Pineapples, watermelon, cantaloupe if you're here in the South, those are things that have natural sugars, okay? So if you're going to cut those out, then yeah, you're going to be getting less sugar, but you don't necessarily have to cut these things out of your diet to live a healthy life, okay? Sugar gets a bad rep. Carbs in general get a bad rep, but if you are doing it in a mindful way and you are eating in moderation, then you will be perfectly fine, okay? And you will want to make sure that your body is at peak performance. And if you're somebody that has just not been eating healthy, you just kind of eat what you want and you're ready to monitor it, then you will also be a good candidate for this challenge, because we're going to look at reducing those natural sugars. So a lot of people will eat like a lot of, grapes, a lot of fruit and everything. That can be an overload in sugar. Even though it's natural, even though it's not bad, sugar is not a health food. It's not considered a health food. So that is why it gets that bad rep, and you might want to reduce it for a little bit just to give your body time to adjust to it. And then also we are going to go over processed foods versus whole foods, okay? Why you want to not have processed foods. Try to go whole foods as best way as you can. Processed foods, or not really monitoring your eating in general, can contribute to spikes in your blood sugar, and it can increase cravings. So if you go into this detox challenge but you're not really paying attention to what you're eating, those cravings are going to hit. Side effects are going to hit from the change in your diet, and then you're not going to be able to complete the 14 days or the week or however long you do it. So it's just more so about being mindful of what you're eating so that you can make healthier decisions in the future. So I'm going to keep on saying that so that you guys understand that this is about changing your mindset. This is about awareness and what you're eating, what you're fueling your body with, so that whenever you make choices that might go off of your regimen, you are making them in a mindful way, which is going to help you be better overall, physically, mentally, and emotionally. So we are going to also discuss what you will be eating, which will be, more protein, more fat, which is something that some people don't really pay attention to as well. And then getting your carbs from vegetables, because that will help you feel more full. Now, if you did not know, sugar is considered a carb. So that is why you want to get more of your carbs from vegetables, because when you get them from fruit, you might go over in sugar if you're trying to do a sugar detox challenge, okay? So look for fruit that have less sugar in them if you just have to have fruit, but just be aware of what you're eating, okay? It's 14 days. It's really not that long, but it can seem harder if you are looking at what you can't have. So I will say look at it as what you can have, what you can eat, and that will help you finish out this challenge. Even though it may get hard once you hit week one. Once you end week one and start going into week two and those cravings start to hit, you can be disciplined enough to finish the challenge out if you focus on what you can do and not what you can't. All right, so that's the basis of it, okay? So in that PDF file, in that ebook, it's going to talk about that, but it is also going to talk about more, which is what I'm not going to go in depth in on this video, but I will give you guys an overview of what it will be talking about. And if you join the challenge, I will of course be going more in depth in the challenge so that you guys are understanding on what you are reading, okay? So we are going to be talking about understanding sugar, what exactly it is and how it fits into our diet, because like I said, sugar is not necessarily bad, it's just not a health food, and a lot of things have added sugar in it. So you want to look at overcoming a sugar addiction, which is what a lot of people have. Sugar is comfort, okay? It sends happy thoughts to our brains. So that's why chocolate is considered a comfort food, okay? Chocolate is not necessarily bad for you per se, but anything in excess is going to be bad for you. It doesn't matter what it is. If you eat too much of it, it's going to contribute to negative side effects, okay? And let me just say, so the goal of this 14-day challenge is not necessarily weight loss, but if you are going for losing weight, then you just incorporate it into your regimen if you're not doing that already. So if you are trying to lose weight and you're not doing anything, it's stagnant, that type of stuff, then you need to look at what you're eating. You might be eating too much sugar. So you can continue to be on your weight loss journey, because that comes from eating less calories so that you can lose the weight. You can incorporate this into your regimen, whether you are losing weight, whether you are maintaining and you want to live in a healthier way, or whether you are gaining weight, because at the end of the day, sugar is something that should not be eaten in excess, period. It doesn't matter where you are on your health journey, you need to be watching how much sugar that you eat, okay? We are also going to be talking about understanding artificial sweeteners. So this is something that I'm really going to cover if you join the challenge, because with my years of being in the supplement industry, I've noticed that you can hide sugar in a lot of ways. Artificial sugar can come as a lot of things, and I've noticed that, and it's something that, you know, companies do to deceive so that they can continue selling it. And it's not necessarily a negative, but if you don't want, you know, artificial sugar, then you don't want to think that it's okay and you're not reading the label, because that's important. And they've got some artificial sugar in there. So what we'll be going over is how it can make a sugar addiction worse, because that can make the cravings worse. Now, we'll go ahead and say the most common thing that people reference with something like that is Splenda, because Splenda is a lot sweeter than actual sugar. Splenda is an artificial sweetener. It can make those cravings hit harder. It can make you crave real sugar. It can also have other side effects. So that is why Splenda, I've noticed a lot of people don't really do Splenda as much, but you have things like Swerve, you have things like allulose. They say things that end in ose, you know, that is considered a sugar, so look out for that as well. But there's a lot of different things that people will put in there, and you can either like subtract it or these types of things to make it like there is not that much added sugar in there. So make sure that you always look at your labels, make sure that you look at the other ingredients. I will try to post things in the challenge, so whenever you're looking for a snack or something like that, I'll show things that can go in there that either don't have any artificial or have a very like minute amount, because I do eat things that have a little bit of artificial sugar in there. So if you're being mindful about it for the 14 days while you're going through this 14-day challenge, make sure that you are reading the labels, so that if you do start to add something that doesn't have natural sugar in it, you are aware of what you're putting inside your body, okay? One thing that I will say is artificial sugar is known to give people headaches. It's known to give people migraines. I used to have a lot of migraines, and I did not know until I started working as a health coach at a place that there's certain artificial sugars that can really intensify those migraines. And I will say, I don't really have migraines that much anymore, other than just from like stress related and things like that. But I know that it came from what I was eating, because I eat a lot better than I used to eat. And that includes with limiting certain things and not eating them at all, or eating them if I am going to like a special event or something like that. So it is all about understanding what you are putting into your body. So with that being said, we are also going to be talking about whole foods. Okay, so like I said, whole foods versus processed foods. Why whole foods are better. If there's a Whole Foods or some type of whole food store in your area, you can go ahead and start looking at things just to see, you know, the difference between it. And we will cover, it's going to be in the ebook, but we will cover questions to ask yourself whenever you are looking at Whole Foods, so that you can set yourself up for success in the best way possible. And like I said, that is going to come from label reading, but that is also going to come from self-control. So if you want to set yourself up for success, you have to make sure that you are ready and mentally prepared. You have to make sure that you're ready to combat sugar cravings, which we will also talk about in that ebook, and I will also discuss while the challenge is going. Because no matter how like disciplined you are, if you are somebody that has been eating a high amount of sugar, those withdrawals are going to hit. It's going to happen. It happens with me with caffeine. Whenever I detox from caffeine, I don't take as much time. I mean, I don't drink as much caffeine. I notice it. I do get headaches whenever I reduce caffeine for more than a few days. Those withdrawals hit, and it's your brain, okay? It's your brain saying, hey, we're used to having this, and now we're not having that. so you're going to have to plan ahead. You're going to have to make sure that you set yourself up for success, so that whenever that happens, you can get over that, okay? It's an obstacle. It's not something that's just going to block you from finishing your journey, but it is something that you will have to be aware of so that you don't give in to temptation, if that makes sense. So whenever you plan ahead, how do you plan ahead? You begin by mentally preparing, which I say in almost every video. It is about your mindset, because your mind is going to tell your body what to do, okay? Your mind is going to control everything. So your body will do whatever your mind tells it to do. So you have to make sure that you are conscious of what you are doing, okay? And you need to plan ahead. You need to have a game plan and see what might hinder you from finishing this 14-day challenge. So with that being said, something different that I know is not really in like the YouTube videos and that you might have to search a little bit on Google is we are going to be talking about how you can understand your brain on sugar. So it is going to be in the ebook, but we are also going to talk about it a little bit more during the challenge, because it can be a little bit tough to understand. Like, biology is not my strong point, anatomy, physiology, but I understand that the brain is very complex, okay? So in the ebook, we talk about the primitive brain and we talk about the prefrontal cortex, but we are going to be going in depth about what that actually means, so that hopefully you guys understand it by the end of the challenge. And we are also going to be talking about a neurotransmitter called dopamine. So a lot of people know about dopamine, some people might not. The main reason for talking about your brain on sugar and talking about dopamine is understanding that sometimes it's just hard, because that's just how our brain operates, okay? If our brain wants to feel good feelings and it knows that, hey, having that sugar is going to make me feel good in this moment, that is your brain, and it can make it very hard. It's about having willpower after that. So I just want you guys to understand how your brain operates on it, so you know that, hey, even if I do give in and I have what I shouldn't necessarily have right now, I'm going to get right back on track, because I know that sometimes my brain just needs something right there, and it doesn't mean that the challenge is over. It means that we are going to get over this hiccup and get back on track, okay? And so then also we are going to be covering what to do if you're still struggling. We can talk about it. If you join this challenge, of course, you can talk to me personally and we will get you over whatever obstacle you are in. And then we are also going to talk about what you can eat. So like I said, focus on what you can eat, not necessarily what you can't eat in a negative way. Just be very aware of what you can and cannot have. There's a sample menu for a day of eating in the ebook, but if you join the challenge, I will of course go ahead and give you things day to day, not necessarily just snacks, but just ideas, because you can honestly do a lot. It's not very hard to cut the sugar out. It's really the cravings and the withdrawals and things like that that are going to hit you, especially if you're somebody that loves sugar or you love carbs. So with that being said, if you guys are interested in joining this challenge, make sure that you check the description box and either do the quiz, or if you know that it's something that you want to join, because it is only $5, go ahead and go to www.summerkayfitness.com and join the challenge. And of course, I will get back to you. With that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like. Please don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and share it with somebody that you feel like either needs to see this or that you want to help hold you accountable, because they can join it as well. The more the merrier, and the more people that you know, the more family and friends that you say, hey, help me do this, can help push you to be more accountable and finish the challenge, because like I said, it's just 14 days. And then once we near the end of the 14 days, we will talk about adding sugar back into your diet, because you do not have to do this forever. It's not something that we are going to just be on. You can do it for the rest of your life. That's perfectly fine, because you should definitely be conscious of what you eat. But if you want to, add a little bit more natural sugar back into your diet, you are perfectly obligated to do that. Okay? That is it for this video. You guys stay tuned. Don't forget to check out the quiz or go on to www.summerkayfitness.com so that you can join me. The challenge will start October 15th, okay? So make sure that you guys prepare. Make sure that you guys hit me up as soon as possible so that we can be as successful as possible. I will see you guys on the next video. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram or TikTok if you're looking for more workouts, because I have been posting on there a lot more frequently than I've been uploading on here, and I don't want you guys to miss out.